Nikola Jokic is widely regarded as the best basketball player on the planet right now, and of course, a big part of that stems from his all-time great passing ability. But what is it that allows him to throw these insane passes? I think the easy answer would be he sees the floor better than maybe anyone who's ever played, or he's just some sort of basketball genius. And although those might be true, they don't really get to the heart of how he does it. So let's dive in and learn a little bit more about the playmaking style of the NBA's current best player and one of the best passers of all time. If I were forced to choose what Jokic's one most valuable trait as a passer is, I would pick his vision. And wait, what the was that? I told you, it's this next level vision. Look at this. Highsmith standing just a little too upright, sagging a touch too far off Murray, but Jokic throws the pass without ever even looking at him. His eyes never leave MPJ, so he does stuff like this all the time where it makes you wonder if he has an extra set of eyeballs somewhere, because some of the stuff he sees just seems humanly impossible. Like this. What is this? How is he seeing MPJ? Does anybody know? But here's the thing. It's not that he literally has wider vision than other players or some hidden third eye. It's that he's masterful at disguising what he sees. Watch that one again. The Nuggets clear the side for him and Jokic is about to go to work in the post, but before he even starts backing down, he takes a quick glance up, sees Booker helping off a shooter, then head down, no signal, no giveaway. He acts like he's trying to score and fires a dart to the shooter. Similar stuff here. Gordon cuts from one dunker spot to the other. Jokic sees Rui stay behind to help, so he turns the other way, no look, and whips it back to Gordon for a dunk. And he's able to do this because he already knew Gordon would be open seconds before the pass even left his hands. But just as importantly, he doesn't give any of that information away. This might be my favorite example. The Nuggets are just bringing it up the floor. Jokic doesn't even have the ball yet, but watch him. He checks the weak side, scans the help, decides he likes this matchup, then once he touches the ball, he throws another one of those impossible looking passes. But it's not magic. It's because he sees the floor like a chessboard and he knows exactly which pieces are out of position. You'll see him make these wild over the head passes like this one, or a behind the back like this one, and these literally make it look like he has eyes in the back of his head. But slow it down. He's actually looking back as he's leaking out here. He sees MPJ trailing and no one else is thinking about that. They're worried about the 7-foot Serbian sprinting to the rim. So even though this pass nearly takes him out of bounds, Jokic knows exactly where MPJ is, meanwhile nobody else clocks it. So we've established the vision. He sees everything, even stuff the defense doesn't realize he's looking at. Like this, he catches DeMar twice in the same game with the exact same pass. So if you're playing against Jokic, you better be locked in every single second, because the moment you slip, he will expose you. But the crazy part is, even if you are locked in, even if you double him, drape yourself all over him, you can foul him, it doesn't matter, because that brings us to the next part of his passing genius, the absurd creativity. This is where he's adjusting mid-play to find ridiculous passing angles, like faking the bounce pass low to the cutter, then bringing it back up for a one-handed whip to the corner, just barely gets it around Bam's hand. And how about this one? Wants to go over the top initially, but then decides the drop-off is the better choice. Or here, two defenders jump at the fake and he splits them with the dish. Or my personal favorite, catches it in the high post, then immediately throws a cross-court lob hook pass. I honestly think he might be the only player on earth who could make that one. Being able to create and adapt like this means he can deliver passes from any angle or any spot on the floor, and this creativity really shines when things go off script, because when plays break down, the ability to improvise becomes the most important thing. Watch this one. Jokic drives, we see a stunt from the corner, so he spins right into a help defender, but still wraps the pass right around the body, because finding these angles on the fly is second nature to him. Late clock here, Jokic has to make something happen. His initial drive gets cut off, so he spins off it. Vooch puts his hands up thinking it's a shot, and then Jokic squeezes this into the cutter in a super tight window. So it's not just the absurd passing angles that make up his creativity. He'll also just try stuff that doesn't even seem open. This next one's just silly. He's attacking a closeout here, looks to set up a spin move, then flicks it to the cut at the last second, and Lopez is dumbfounded. So he's trying stuff other guys won't, he's finding these ridiculous delivery angles, and he's doing it all out of structure. So this combination of otherworldly vision and on-the-fly creativity makes up a nice chunk of his passing arsenal, but if we combine those two traits together, we can actually look at something a bit bit more specific, which is passing with anticipation, and he does this as well as anyone. This could be leading a teammate to an open area like a quarterback to a receiver, or seeing what the defense is about to do and throwing a pass before they do it, or how about a combination of the two like this one, where as soon as Harden steps up, Jokic knows AG is going to be open, but he doesn't just throw it to his hands. Instead, he leads him to a spot with a soft lob to the rim, and not only does that keep space between Zubac and Gordon, it also means that by the time the help turns around, AG's already laying it in. At first glance here, the defense seems to have everything covered up, but then suddenly Jamal Murray has an open layup, and this is all Jokic. The Nuggets are setting up a play for Murray to come off a pin down and probably come get a handoff, but Jokic sees how Wallace is positioned and throws Murray open in the blink of an eye. And I love that Jamal wasn't thinking he had a layup here. He was ready to run the set. It was Jokic who knew to break the play like this because it would lead to an easy two. And not all of these need to be as fancy as that. Usually it's just about timing up cutters, but he has this innate ability to know what type of pass to throw in these spots. Do I need to get this to a spot quickly so the defense has no time to react, or is there enough space that I can float this out there a little bit so the cutter has time to turn and find the ball? And if you remember my last video, we talked about LeBron's incredibly fast processing speed, and even though it looks very different, all of these examples with Jokic show his processing power as well. So he sees everything, he finds every angle, he processes instantly so that he can pass with anticipation, and that leads us to Jokic's last passing trait, manipulation. This is the use of eyes or body position to move the defense where you want them in order to throw a pass somewhere else, and it usually happens when the offense already has a slight advantage, but then the passer manipulates the defense even more to turn that small advantage into a bigger one. Like here, for example, the Sixers put 2 on the ball and Jokic catches it on the roll, so already there's a 4-on-3 here, and the open man for the moment is Strother, but Jokic doesn't just accept that as the best option. Instead, he looks at Strother, gets Yabusele to bite, and this goes from what would have been a 40% three-point attempt to a 100% two. This time he uses both his eyes and body to make it look like he's going up for a shot just to dump it off to MPJ. Right here, Bogey creeps up to double, so Jokic again looks at the open man, the defense moves, and now it's another layup, and this one's pretty nasty. Ooh, Jokic doesn't even look Westbrook's direction once this play, but he knows just by checking the roll like this, Caruso will take that step in and give Russ a little bit of space for the jumper. But manipulation isn't just about moving defenders out of the way like this, because sometimes when the defense is caught between two guys, these little lookaways can just keep them frozen in place. Jokic has a mismatch here, then draws 2, so Caruso's left between AG and Jamal, and this is an elite defender. He probably knows Gordon is the bigger issue here, but not only does Jokic stare directly at Murray, he also throws a pass fake in his direction and then blends it directly into the bounce pass to Gordon. That's just silly. It reminds me of that old Pistol Pete video where he was doing passing drills with Red Auerbach. Here's another one. Again, it starts with drawing 2 to create an initial numbers advantage, and now Harden's responsible for 2 guys, so Jokic looks right at Westbrook and Harden has no idea that Brown is cutting right behind him for a dunk. So there you have it, the Joker's bottomless bag of passing tricks, and that's now 2 down in our series covering the big 4 playmakers in the NBA. I hope you guys all enjoyed this one. Any likes or comments are hugely appreciated, and I'll see you in the next one.